This old, dilapidated structure is a shadow of what it once was. Today, there are crumbling columns, cracked walls, wrecked restrooms, rusty, mangled grills and fence, garbage underground, and a rotting roof, which are just some of the obvious signs of neglect. But if you look closer, you'll see that this place was once an important part of its community. The faded flags painted on the wall, two small wooden tables tossed to one side, and the lonely bare maypoles, albeit faded and old, are still standing tall. This is the San Jose Succotz Cancha, or what's left of it. For the past 12 years or so, the once popular spot in the village has been abandoned.
This building falls under the responsibility of the chairman of the village, who's supposed to dialogue with the government for maintenance, for either changing a sink or doing something to fix it.
Why do you think it has reached this point and just been neglected for so long?
Well, I could only blame two persons, either our representative and the chairman, who has to be dialogue with the representative to request the government for assistance for this building, but it has not been done. And actually, the village council is supposed to be either doing fundraising to repair this building, but it has not been done also.
I could say our minister that was, elected in office did promise that he was going to make this cancha over again. A promise that has been gone in the air for 15 years, no progress. What we have got is from our minister is, I could say, nothing. Very little, very little. The cancha, as you can see, is in very, very critical and bad conditions.
The cancha is situated in the heart of the village. It has been here for more than 40 years. Many of the residents grew up attending functions on the floors of this concrete structure. From pageants to weddings to political rallies to village fiestas and workshops have been held under this roof. But about 12 to 15 years or so, all of that stopped. The cancha was more than just a venue for public events. It was a place where residents came together, a place where they nurtured, shared, and displayed their culture, and a place where they shaped the identity of their community. So for those who grew up here, to see the condition of this important piece of their community is a painful reminder of what it once stood for.
This building was very useful to the people. It helps us a lot. Many things are done here, up to cultural presentation, which we cannot do anymore.
Our culture, everything that was done at one point in time here, is no longer that vivid anymore. And probably, every day it's being dumped, I should say it, but to the garbage, okay? So definitely, that's the cruel reality we are facing in this village.
As a resident of this village, how much does it pain you to see that it has fallen to ruins?
Oh, all the way to the bottom of my heart. This is terrible. And I didn't expect this to be like this.
The multi-purpose building is now an eyesore in the village. It's no longer being used, and today it presents some serious hazards to the community.
It's a pity to have something like this in our own village. This is basically at the edge of collapsing. If you look into the roof, it's terrible. The actual zincs are just flying away with the actual breeze, a very small wind. It's no longer a safe spot, I could say. During the nighttime, before it had all electricity inside. Today there's no wires, nothing. So definitely it's something that has now become a concern to the villagers.
It's no longer fit to be used. If we make too much noise on here, it will drop. Eventually it will collapse.
Have you seen that happen any at all? Anything falling off or so?
Whenever we have a little slight breeze, we could see the zincs flying off. So it is in a bad state.
At night, this is a very, very dark place. The children, actually the school children, normally during the evening time would come around this area to play. But if you notice, like the roof itself can tell you how dangerous it would be today. Let's say, for example, a child or children would be playing here and all of a sudden this collapse. it will definitely become a tragedy.
The community center, they say, is being shared by a school and the village council. So now the village doesn't have a proper venue to host public events anymore. And residents want this condemned building to be demolished and for the responsible authorities to address this problem.
We can do this. The community will be willing to help if the president representative and the village councillors come up with an idea to work this out.
As you can see, it's very close to the police station. Although it's near the police station is bright and beautiful, I could say, recently done. But what about our cancha?
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.